about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. You turn my morning into dancing. 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 Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything.
It was a wonderful night at the park. It really was. It was amazing. The music was great. The kids were good. I had tons of help. I'd like to say thank you to Kenny and from Glenn and for Rollin and for Teresa, all showing up and offering a helping hand. It's amazing with just a few smiling faces will do to calm, to make it seem to go smoother. I guess it'd be a better way of saying it. It was good. I laughed a lot. And then we went up to dinner and we had a good time. That being said, we have a verse to do today, right? We got something else that has to be done. So let's say hello to a few people. We have me, and then we have Ken Cooch. Good morning, fellow brothers in arms. Tom's here. Good morning, Tom. Chuck B. Shalom, gentlemen. And Bert Reggiani. Always counting on Chuck B., Ken Cooch, and Bert Reggiani. Oh, hey, and Chris Connolly, of course. We wouldn't want to leave him out. Well, were you migrating last night, Chris? Because, man, the sandwiches were good. And we got to the restaurant, and there was two guys from Lake Point there. We sat at their table with them and joined them in fellowship and fun, and we had a really good time. It was a nice evening at the restaurant too. On top of that, so today's verses are from Psalm 50, and I was doing the math last night, and I'm like, oh, Psalm 51 is coming up, and my prayer is that you guys get that one with Tom, because that is an amazing scripture. Psalm 50, though, it's not so bad itself. I use a book here for all my notes it's just a composition book. I got them at back to school because they were like $3 for $1. And I said, man, I could use those and they're cheap. And I don't have to worry about tearing them, making a mess out of them. Anyway, last night I filled up my last 2 pages on one. So that means I filled a whole book with notes for my Monday morning devotions. And this is the second one now. I'm creating my own library that I'll never use again. Well, who knows? I have there was an instance last year where we had the same one again. I had the same one again. I was able to look at my notes and it gave me guidance. And then I couldn't believe how much different the devotion was. It's funny how God speaks to us sometimes. Anyway, let me see if I can pull up the verse. I'm not going to experiment today. I promise, guys. I'm just going to do it the way it's supposed to be done, the way I normally do it, because I tinkered, but I couldn't find a solution. All right, so let's go. Wait a minute. Hold 1 second. Let me go back to that real quick. I'll take Chris Conley off the page. I don't want to make him feel like he's blocking traffic or anything. All right. The mighty one, God the Lord, speaks and summons the earth. From the rising of the sun to its setting, out of Zion, the perfection of beauty, God shines forth. Our God comes. He does not keep silence. Before him is a devouring fire. Around him is a mighty tempest. He calls to the heavens above and the earth, and that he may judge his people. Gather to me, my faithful ones, who made a covenant with me by sacrifice. The heavens declare his righteousness, for God himself is judge. Wow, that's the first part. Then it says Selah, so that means it's taking a breath, right? The first 6 verses of this basically are painting a picture of a powerful God. He's not. They describe him as the perfection of beauty, right? Or before him is a devouring fire, which is powerful, right? A mighty tempest. Think of the winds and the waves. The heavens declare his righteousness. It's so much that's one I just love. The heavens declare his righteousness. God himself is judge. Yeah, I'm sorry. It was the first 6 verses. The picture, the image that he's painting there, that this is God is not something to be trifled with. He's not something that is just non-existent or silent or quiet. He's powerful, and I think sometimes we think of Jesus and we think of this loving and caring guy, but we forget he's also God and who is powerful and mighty. Then the next verse. Let's go back to 7 now. Ready? Hear, O my people, I will speak. Just told you how powerful he is. And then he says, I will speak. Yikes. O Israel, I will testify against you. You can't hear that verse and go, oh, no big deal, right? I am God, your God. Not for your sacrifices do I rebuke you. Not for your sacrifices do I rebuke you. Your burnt offerings are continually before me. I will not accept a bull from your house or goats from your folds. For every beast of the forest is mine, and the cattle on 1,000 hills. I know all the birds of the hills, and all those in the field is mine. If I were hungry, I would tell you, for the world and its fullness are mine. Do I eat the flesh of bulls or drink the blood of goats? To offer a sacrifice of thanksgiving and perform your vows to the Most High and call upon me in the days of trouble, I will deliver you and you shall glorify me. Okay, let me see if I can. Those are the verses, right? Oh, look at that. It's just going. Whoa. Okay. I read this, and okay, I'm reading this verse, and I'm thinking to myself, where have I heard this before, right? All the people who live as those as children of God, I will testify against you. I do rebuke you for your sacrifice. He basically says, I rebuke you for your sacrifices. He says, I do not rebuke you for your sacrifices. It's not what he's upset about, it's the sacrifices. He doesn't want a bull or a goat, right? He's telling these people the things they're doing aren't what he wants. He knows all the birds of the hills, and he moves everything in the field, and what he wants is them to be grateful and keep their vows and call on him in times of trouble. And he will deliver them. So I kept saying, it sounds so familiar. Where have I read it before? Well, in Amos 5, there's a verse where verse 21, he says, I hate and despise your religious festivals. Your assemblies are a stench to me. It's not. You imagine God telling you what you're doing is a stench to him? Wow. Even though you bring the burnt offerings and grain offerings, I will not accept them. Though you bring choice fellowship offerings, I will have no regard for them. Away with the noise of your songs. You're singing to God, and he's saying, away with the noise of your songs. I will not listen to the music of your harps. Again, he's telling them that these are things you do, but he's talking about a relationship with these people that is deeper than just doing a couple things. God was not looking for another meaningless gesture. If you're doing these things, he wants you to mean them. And I think that's the thing that the people in Israel missed. They kept thinking these duties they had to perform, these jobs. I have to do this, and I have to live this way. I have to make so many sacrifices. I'm going to still act like a normal person 6 days of the week. But on the Sabbath, I'm going to be amazing. He wanted more than that from his people, and they just didn't seem to get it. He wanted more from us, and sometimes we don't get it. How many times have we heard in church, he doesn't want us just to be in the pew on Sunday for an hour, put money in the plate and go home and say, that's it, we're done. What do we had? Here's a God that's looking for a relationship. He wants us to live life a certain way. He wants us to understand that he's God. He's this powerful God that we described in the first 6 chapters. He wants us to understand that his word and his law that he gives us are guides and principles of living in this kingdom and living in his kingdom. He doesn't want money in the plate. Pastors want money in the plate. Church leadership wants money in the plate because that's how we pay bills so we can have a church. But that isn't all of it. And I think that's the thing that we seem to keep missing is it's not a rote following of rules and regulations. It's loving God with your whole heart. We forget that sometimes. And I think this is what God is trying to say in this. If you're sacrificing just to sacrifice, or if you're singing because you think God needs it, if you were singing out of gratitude for everything that Jesus did, that's different. If you're offering up something to the church because you just can't think of what else you can do, because you want to, because you're so grateful that God has saved your life, that is what he wants. He wants people that understand that they've been given a special gift. That's what I have for you today, boys. I hope it was okay. Chris. Okay, no migration. So what? I wasn't trying to be funny. I just asked a question. Never mind. Don't be so sensitive. Happy birthday, Emily, says Ken Gooch. I'm very excited for Emily's birthday party today as well. And I'm glad your kids are home. I think that's awesome. And I'm jealous. I think that's it. I'm out of words. So, again, thanks everybody last night. It was a wonderful night. And I can't thank you enough for all the extra effort was done. With that, have a firmly rooted day, gentlemen. And may someone see Jesus in you today. Oh, boy. I forgot to do the media asset thing. Peace.